Georgetown Prep, one of the most prestigious schools in the nation, offers a wide variety of courses. One of the academic departments of the school is the Modern Language Department, which includes languages such as Spanish, French, German, and Chinese. Out of these languages, Chinese is the newest one at Prep, as it was only added last year. Taking a brand new language at a school can be challenging, especially because most of us did not know much about the Chinese language or culture before taking the course. The style of the language itself is drastically different than English, but that did not stop some of us adventurous students from taking the brand new course. Not many people outside of the class know much about it, so let's hear from some students.
So we had an option between Spanish, Chinese, Mandarin, and French, and I've already taken Spanish, and then French and German I wasn't really that interested in it, so I think Mandarin was just the most interesting. I think it was something I could get the most out of and learn the most out of.
Just because it seemed like the most unique language option at Prep, and I already took French in middle school, and Spanish, so many people speak Spanish in America that I felt as if, I don't really need school to learn that. But Chinese, it was like, well, this could really be something that, if I start learning in high school and go through college with it as well, that it could pay off in career opportunities in the future and stuff.
I like Chinese food, and I noticed that I can't order at the Chinese restaurants, so I thought that maybe if I learned Mandarin, it would help me be able to learn to order food at Chinese restaurants, and then it just kind of kept going from there, and I committed to it.
I think the most interesting thing that I didn't know before was, I think a lot of people, within the characters, you have to write in a certain stroke order. And I think a lot of people think you can just write the characters in whatever way you want. But there's certain stroke orders you have to use to make it the easiest way possible to write it, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's actually very helpful when writing the characters. So.
Miss Kelly is such a nice teacher, but also the homework is different than all my other homework. It's more interactive. The linked, the voice portion of homework, which really makes it the majority of the homework, that's what kind of makes the class stick out to me, is I actually feel like I'm getting better, and when we watch videos and listen to music in class, it engages me a lot better than a lot of other classes do, say a math class or an English class would. There's more of an interactive element to it that I think is really exciting.
It's a pictographic language, so it doesn't go with an alphabet. So it's interesting to write characters and see which sets of characters make different phrases.
I think the most challenging thing is probably reading, at least for me. It's different for every person, but for me, it would definitely be reading, just looking at Chinese characters and then knowing exactly what they are and reading them out loud and translating them.
The most challenging thing about learning Chinese would probably be, a lot of people think it's the writing or the reading, but after a little bit, it really starts to click. I'd say it's really just the speaking. I mean, the thing about Chinese, about Mandarin, is just that there's 4 tones, 5 tones. One word can, some you say can be something completely different if you get the tone wrong. If you raise your voice when you say one word, or if you lower when you say another, it can really mess up the whole thing. So just about speaking more fluent Chinese, that's the hardest part, is speaking accurately.
But despite these challenges, the Mandarin class has a great community and teacher, Miss Kelly, to help everyone have the most enjoyable experience.
So I think before, we didn't really do much to celebrate the Chinese culture as a whole. I think we did do some stuff because we do have a lot of students that come from China, but I think bringing in the Chinese program in Mandarin class, it brought a lot. We did the Lunar New Year presentations at the end of January, and I think there's just more knowledge about the culture within the student community than there was before.
I think it's had a very positive impact. I mean, if you look at my grades, since I started learning language to now, my grades have gotten progressively better. And that's not because the class has gotten easier, because the language has gotten easier, but because, she finds ways to make the class, more entertaining, more engaging, and thus that grows a passion in the students, and it certainly did in me.
I think the Mandarin community is great. Lao Shi has done a good job of kind of building up a nice group of people that help set things up for different Chinese occasions. And it's just a good environment. You know, we're all connected through group chats, so, you know, we all talk. It's a good time.
It is indeed a good time.